Hey, good morning. Welcome in and welcome back. We are going to start our new unit, and that's going to be taking a look at world religions. We're going to take a look at the histories, the origins of these five religions: Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, Christianity, and Judaism. Today we're actually going to open up with Islam. Okay, so let's get into this, and we'll get into the background information on Islam. So, the rise of Islam. Understand this: the Arabian Peninsula is situated between Africa, Asia, and Europe. And naturally, again, this area is dubbed the Middle East. Okay, only a few areas can support agriculture there. Again, it's very dry, barren. It's a desert essentially. Okay, a majority of this land is desert. At the start, many nomadic tribes and clans roamed these deserts for centuries. Now, as this is emerging, there are a lot of vast trade routes that are going to connect Arabia to the land and to the ocean. Okay, during the winter, several merchants would stop by in the Holy Land of Mecca. Okay, here religious people would come together to worship Abraham. Now, Abraham was a Hebrew prophet and believed in one God. So, the Abraham religions are going to be Islam, Judaism, and Christianity. Okay, uh, to the Arabic people, this God, this one God, was known as Allah. Okay, the birth of Muhammad in 570 AD would alter the future of the religion on the Arabian Peninsula. So let's talk about the Prophet Muhammad. Okay, so Muhammad was born to a powerful Meccan clan in 570 AD. All right, however, he was orphaned at 6 years old and went right into working as part of a caravan for a majority of his life. All right, he then worked as a trader, okay, and a merchant for a wealthy businesswoman named Khadijah, okay, at age 25. He would go on to actually marry this woman, Khadijah. Muhammad was a religious man, and he practiced meditation and prayer. All right, at the age of 40, an angel named Gabriel visited Muhammad in a cave outside of Mecca. Again, this is according to Islamic belief. Gabriel told Muhammad that he was the messenger of Allah. Remember that one monotheistic God. Muhammad began to spread the word of Allah, and Khadijah, his wife, and other family members became the first followers. Okay, so we take a look at Islam and Muslims. Okay, so Muhammad began to stress that Allah was the only God, and that all other gods should be abandoned. So all of a sudden, we start seeing a shift from polytheism to monotheism. Okay, people who agree to this concept or are believers are Muslims. Okay, this means ones who have submitted. Okay, Islam means submission to the will of Allah or to God. Okay, Muhammad was met with some hostility as Islam spread, as you can imagine. Many feared that this new belief would destroy the old Arabic gods and force Mecca to lose influence as a trading center. So people were very weary, both religiously and economically. Okay, in 622, Muhammad decided to leave. He took his supporters 200 miles northward to the town of Yathrib. All right, and this pilgrimage is known as the Hijrah. All right, Yathrib would later become known as Medina. Okay, so Muhammad leaves the area, moves everyone to Medina, or supporters, I should say. Now, in Medina, Muhammad would flash political skills. All right, he's going to come to an agreement between Muslims and Jews. He was also appointed more Islamic converts, so all of a sudden he's getting a bigger following. Lastly, he's going to lead militarily due to tensions between Mecca and Medina. All right, in 630, Muhammad and 10,000 of his followers returned to Mecca. He defeated the Meccan leaders and established Islam as the one religion and the only religion of the region. In 632, Muhammad died, yet prior to his death, he had almost united the entire Arabian Peninsula under the religion of Islam. So that's how fast this religion spread. Now, understand this. With the Islamic faith, there are 5 pillars, okay, that each Muslim adheres to and practices, all right? In the Islamic faith, these 5 duties or pillars are known as the following, okay? The first is Shahadah, okay? This is essentially a declaration that there is only one God, and that God is Allah, and the messenger of Allah is Muhammad, okay? Next, we have a salat. You may have heard of this. You may have seen this. This is a ritual of 5 prayers a day. Okay, so Muslims face Mecca in these prayers and may assemble in a mosque if they choose to. And a mosque is a Islamic house of worship. There's also zakat. Okay, this is paying alms. All right, this is a religious tax that helps the poor and the needy. So people are devoting a portion of their income with the zakat, and they're helping out the poor and the needy. The fourth pillar is Psalm. Okay, this is the fasting during the holy month of Ramadan, and this is from sunrise to sunset. Simple meals are eaten at the end of the day, so people fast throughout this entire month, and they really only eat very simplistic meals at the very end of the day. And lastly, we have the Hajj. Okay, this is a required pilgrimage to the holy city of Mecca. Okay, Muslims must visit Mecca at least once in their lives. Okay. All right, you'll see this great picture of the Great Mosque of Mecca. This is the Hajj. All right, you've got that kind of cube-like structure in the middle, and you have thousands upon thousands of worshippers coming together here at the mosque in Mecca. Okay, there are some Islamic customs. All right, believers are forbidden to eat pork or drink alcoholic beverages. Friday afternoons are set aside for community worship, so you are worshiping with friends and family. Unlike most religions, Islam does not have priests or central religious authorities. Okay, the Quran is the holy book of the Muslims. All right, it is a collection of the revelations that Muhammad received from Gabriel. Only the Arabic version is deemed to be true. All others are considered false. Sunnah, this is Muhammad's example of living, is the best model for proper living. Islamic law is known as Sharia law. Okay, this regulates family, it regulates moral conduct, business, and community life. Okay, so understand this. After the death of Muhammad, Islam is going to go through some transformations. All right, after Muhammad died, debate over his caliphs or his successors would emerge between two Islamic factions. In 632, Abu Bakr became the first caliph. Okay, he was followed by Umar, Uthman, and then Ali. Okay, they deemed themselves the rightly guided caliphs, the followers, and they're going to form what we call the first caliphate. Okay, Abu Bakr would have to wage a jihad or striving against opposing forces. This is also known as a holy war. This is an Islamic term that is used against evil forces. Each of the caliphs would greatly expand Islam across Africa, the Middle East, and into Europe. Okay, as Islam spread and Muslims began conquering parts of the world, the Quran prevented forced conversion. Okay, therefore, conquered peoples could practice a religion of their choosing. So instead of forcing religion upon somebody else, they were still able to freely practice what they preferred, even though they were conquered. Okay, now understand this. There's a huge faction, two factions rather, of the Islamic faith. Let's start here, though. The Umayyads, which was a powerful group of Muslims, came into power after the assassination of the fourth Caliph Ali. Okay, they moved to the Muslim capital to Damascus, which is in Syria. This led to some major rifts between Muslims. Okay, many felt that the Umayyads were living too lavishly. They were living, well above their means, and they were not following the Quran properly. They were living in sin. Okay, so what we see is a minority party or group that begins to develop. The Shia, and these are supports of Ali. So he was the fourth caliph. They're going to start challenging the Islamic status quo. The Sunni would represent the other side of Islam. They believed in the first four caliphs, while the Shia only believed in Ali to be the true follower of Muhammad. Okay, a tiny group known as the Sufi also split. All right, they favored life. They favored actually a life of poverty and devotion toward Muhammad's spiritual path. Okay. Now, there's a really good graph that points out some of the differences, and there might be a question on the journal log as you take a look at the graph between the Sunni and the Shia. The Shia, again, are minority. Only about 16% of practicing Muslims are Shia. The other 83% is Sunni. Okay? Okay, now let's talk about the Abbasids. They're going to consolidate their power. All right, after the major split, a new and powerful group took over. These were known as the Abbasids, okay? In 762, the Abbasids moved the Muslim capital to Baghdad, which is modern-day Iraq. All right, this newly created city rests in central Iraq. This location was going to be key for trade and commerce. The Abbasids essentially wiped out the Umayyads, okay, those that were living in luxury, living in sin. So they were essentially wiped out in the Middle East. The Umayyads and the Berbers from North Africa would actually move their influence and hold Islamic influence in Spain. The Muslim Empire was able to secure key trade routes along the Mediterranean Sea and the Indian Ocean. So you have a huge Islamic influence throughout the Middle East and now into Asia. Okay, understand this with Muslim culture, okay? Muslim culture is centered around the arts, literature, sciences, and math. Key inventions or advancements include calligraphy, which is beautiful handwriting, geometric patterns, or these are used for architecture and solving mathematical equations. However, women in Muslim culture are often submitted to men. So what that means is that women are expected to manage the household. They are expected to raise children. They are expected to cook and clean and must abide by the rules that are being put in place by the man. Women have a lot of restrictions, and there's not much freedom for women in Muslim culture. Women must be veiled in public. Women wear burqas and hijabs. The Quran states men are the managers of the affairs of women. All right, so that is the law of the land for Islamic culture, okay? And what is essentially also stated is that righteous women are therefore obedient. So this is a big, in 2020, this is a huge social issue. A lot of people are very critical of how women are treated in Muslim cultures, okay? Even in the 21st century, Muslim women are encountering these types of restrictions. However, some women within the Muslim community, they have challenged the status quo. They've either left the religion altogether, or they continue to practice but don't abide by every ruling in the Quran. Okay, so that's what we're looking at here. Again, it's our first of 5, and we'll have a little journal log to follow up. All right, guys, thank you so much. Have a good one.